Two fitness influencers, Jeff Nippard and Mike Van Wyck, had a verbal exchange that ended with Mike pushing Jeff by his throat. There's a lot of differing opinions.
There's a video online going around of some monster-ass fool pushing some keyboard warrior princess little punk bitch by his neck because he saw him in person.
This is a mentally deranged psychopath on drugs wanting to pick on someone that is smaller and more successful than he is.
One side thinks Jeff was instigating, asking for a fight, and another side thinks that Mike's psychotic and he should be in jail. This is the full footage as far as I know.
All right, Mike says, "What's up?" So we see Jeff and Mike exchange. And it looks like Jeff had a smile. And it looks like Mike turned around, said something to him. And then Jeff continues working out. And his cameraman is there. We see him filming him. It looks like a nice gym. Now we see Mike over here, okay? So Mike comes over here to the equipment rack to get something. It doesn't look like he looks at Jeff, and he goes back, and he was training his client. Jeff is there.
Hey,
filming.
Mike.
And now watch.
Let's go over here.
So Jeff says something to his cameraman. And then it looks like he calls over to Mike. It looks like if you zoom in here, it looks like he calls his name. Mike looks over. His cameraman follows. Jeff says something to his cameraman. And now they go over to Mike. And the camera's pointed at Mike. And now he takes him, he throws him. It looks like he's tripped over that bench. They get closer together. They exchange words. And notice the cameraman put his camera down. He's not filming this footage at this point. I'll get into that later. He takes Jeff again, pushes him by his throat. Jeff has his hands up. He doesn't want any part of this. I don't blame him. And then take a look here at the cameraman. He pushes the cameraman. He walks away. And that's what we have here on the footage.
There was also some online back and forth that led up to this interaction.
Yeah, I was watching YouTube the other day. Something that my usual feed popped up onto my feed for some unknown reason, because I really can't fucking stand the person that popped up on it, but YouTube likes to torture me. This particular video was a very nerdy individual going in depth about Sam Sulek's workout regimen, sets and rep schemes. Well, the most outlandish thing about the video is that this person stated that they had watched all of this person's training videos. And also, a sidebar, Sam looks 1,000% better than this person does. And this person is not so much critiquing their physique, kind of just saying like, well, whatever he's doing is working for him. It's like, yeah, which is the exact opposite of what you do, dude.
Recently, there was another clip of Mike Van Wyck calling out science-based lifters as a whole and how their approach is bad.
I don't know the science-based guys. Science guys really need to answer this question before anything. Why is it that you remain so mediocre, yet you know so much?
I know I don't need to respond to this, but since he asked, using science-based training, I won Natural Bodybuilding Nationals. I earned my pro card on the most competitive stage in the World Natural Bodybuilding Federation. I placed second in my first bodybuilding pro show, and while doing this, I set the Canadian record on the bench press, and I set a provincial record on the squat. I currently weigh 180 pounds at 5'5" tall, which is pretty close to my natural limit given my height and my genetics. That's all besides the point though, because facts are facts. Information is either right or wrong. It doesn't matter who that information is coming from. If the people with the best physiques had the most knowledge, why would C-Bum need a coach? He has the best physique on the planet. Who could possibly know more than him? Well, it's pretty obvious that bodybuilding success comes from great genetics and really hard training, and if you want to make it in the IFBB, steroid use. I like science because it gives me more confidence in what actually works and what doesn't, because it isolates variables. If you trust a big guy's advice over scientific studies, that doesn't bother me.
I don't think it's crazy to think that Mike saw Jeff as instigating in the situation. If we try to see this from Mike's point of view, the whole situation started with Jeff responding to Mike's video saying that Jeff was wrong. So he might have walked into the gym with the perspective that Jeff doesn't respect him. Then he, in the gym, walks past Jeff while Jeff is working out. He says, "Sup," and then Jeff laughs at him. I don't think it's unreasonable to think that that's disrespectful, or that he could see that as disrespectful and demeaning. Then supposedly Mike responds as he's walking away saying things are about to get real funny. To me, that sounds like a threat, like he's telling Jeff to back off. And then Jeff walks up to him, supposedly saying, Mike, what did you mean by that? So Mike could interpret that as, Jeff's not backing off. Mike sees Jeff's cameraman pointing the camera directly at Mike, and so he sees, maybe Jeff's trying to act all big and strong in front of his social media. He's trying to make this entertaining, like he wants to do something right now. I don't think that's a crazy interpretation for Mike to have from the whole situation. And then the whole situation obviously ends by Mike shoving Jeff by his throat. But also on the flip side, I don't think it's crazy to think from Jeff's point of view that he wasn't trying to antagonize Mike at all. In Jeff's initial response video to Mike, he didn't say anything disrespectful about Mike himself. He just talked about the stuff that Mike was saying about his attacks on science-based lifting. And now Jeff's working out at the gym, and Mike comes up to him, gets close to him and says, "Sup?" And Jeff's response is laughing. It could be laughing out of discomfort, like he didn't mean anything disrespectful by laughing. It's just like a normal human response when someone gets all up in your bubble like that. And then Jeff keeps working out, and he sees Mike says, it's about to get real funny as he's walking away. And so Jeff might see this as an opportunity to, talk out their disagreements. And there doesn't necessarily need to be any disrespect, you just talk it out. And so I think it's reasonable to conclude that that's how Mike and Jeff had different reads on the situation. The question is if their individual responses were justified based on how they were each interpreting the situation. If we assume that Jeff was intentionally being disrespectful and trying to get under Mike's skin, does that justify Mike putting his hand on Jeff's throat?
You pussies are in the comments going, he should press charges. No, he should get pushed by the neck and then get his head stepped on, and everybody else should say, good bitch, don't talk shit to a monster if you're a little peon pussy fuck. You guys need to know your fucking place before you get put in it. Some people don't give a fuck about the consequences. That's the thing about life. You can do anything you want if you don't give a fuck about the consequences.
Yeah, Mike is so big and strong because he got physical in response to words. Who's more of a pussy bitch? The person who can't take a hit without going to the cops, or the person who can't take verbal criticism without going at the throat of someone 100 pounds lighter than them? What's more dangerous, words or a hand to the throat? I'd say the bigger bitch is someone who attacks someone who isn't looking for a fight. Even the worst interpretation of Jeff's actions is that he was trying to harass Mike with words. Clearly, Jeff wasn't looking for a physical fight. The bigger bitch is someone who's more fragile to a lesser threat.